So what kind of projects can be done under contractors all risk policy? This policy is designed to provide projects involving construction of civil works and structures. Okay, this is for civil works and structures like this: residential buildings, factory building, road, bridges, flyovers, canal, irrigation. These are wet risk. I'll explain what do I mean by wet risk. Okay. So canal irrigation projects, tunnels, dams, reservoir, they are specialized projects. Lot of care has to be taken. Then hydropower plants, then floating solar power plants. This is the new concept in India. To utilize big reservoirs, this concept has come. I'll explain what are the precautions to be taken in respect of this. This is another new technology which has come. Pumped water storage power plants. This is again a new technology. Okay. No, then your construction of jetty and ports. All this kind of projects and many other civil construction works, they can be given contractors all risk policy. This policy is designed for that. These are the few photographs. You can see high-rise building, which is under construction. This is the way contractors all risk policy has been given. This is construction of flyover. Okay. So again, CAR policy is given for this. This is again office building, multi-storied building, which is under construction. Now you see in this previous photograph, there is a big lake or reservoir, which is very close by. So while underwriting these things, you must ensure what is the elevation of this site, so that it should not happen. Many times it is seen that construction site is flooded with water because of overflow of this reservoir, nearby reservoir. Okay. So we have to be cautious about these things, this kind of situation when it is near to a water body. Another type of project, laying of pipeline, then cross-country pipelines, and natural gas pipelines, water pipelines, petroleum product pipelines, crude oil pipelines. All these pipeline projects, they are insured under CAR policy. And there's a lot of requirement, and this is again falling under a specialized category. I'll discuss that. This is again a picture of same kind of project, laying of pipeline under trenches. This is again project in hilly area. Okay, construction of dam, reservoir, construction of dam is a very, very complicated project, and it has to be done with cautious and care. I'll explain that also. This is construction of jetty. This is works, wet risk, works in water. Again, a specialized project. I'll discuss what precautions are to be taken, what are the underwriting considerations in this kind of projects. So simple as well as complicated projects I am going to deal today. This is construction of a river bridge. Okay. Construction of road. You are aware. So many such projects can be insured under contractors all risk policy. Now, in many projects, you might have seen there is a mix of civil construction as well as installation, erection of mechanical items, erection of machineries, like your hydropower. Hydropower, it is a combo of EAR and CAR, because once the dam is ready, your construction is ready, internal roads are ready, then you need to erect the machinery. Turbines are to be erected, transformers have to be installed, and power line, then DCS control rooms, all these things, they will fall under EAR. So the thumb rule is, in such cases, if the civil work exceeds more than 50%, it is just a thumb rule, not very strictly followed. But as a thumb rule, more than 50% is if the cost involved for civil work, we give CAR, and on the contrary, vice versa, if the engineering portion is more than 50%, we give EAR, because all engineering project, like your construction of your erection of thermal power. You require civil as well as mechanical. So in that case, mechanical work is more than half. So we give EAR policy, not CAR policy in that case. So most suited for this kind of project, this is all risk cover subject to certain exclusions. Okay. I'll reply to your query, Keshav. Please, after some time, I'll take a break. Then all these queries can be sorted out. So this is all risk cover with certain exclusions. Then this covers physical loss or damage to the project property. Whilst these are the various stages when we cover, our policy covers your storage portion. So during the course of storage at project site, if there is a damage, it is covered. During construction, it is covered. And the third stage is there is no, I'm not talking about testing. That is the basic difference between EAR and CAR. In case of EAR, another stage is testing and commissioning of the project. Here, testing is not needed. It is not covered. It is not required in civil engineering projects. So directly we switch over to defect liability period. Once the project is handed over to the principal, in that case, as per the contractual requirements, the contractor is please mute. Request all people to mute their mics. Otherwise, a lot of disturbance would be there. Thank you. This is defect liability period, or we call it maintenance period also. This is already enabled, Amrish. So I think once it is enabled, it is not needed. Okay. Or it is needed by everyone. I don't know. Done. So it is already done. I am not enabling right now. This kind of interruptions, they are going to break the flow and we will not be able to complete. Please request all of you to support so that we complete all these slides. There are multiple slides. Many slides are there. So what I was telling, during storage, during construction, during the defect liability period, which is a maintenance period, many times contractors are responsible to take care to maintain the project for a period of 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years. So it can go up to 7 years also. Many times I have seen the projects which are coming 7 years defect liability period. But there is a restriction. I'll talk about that. I will talk about that during the defect liability period. Please don't make this kind of request. It is going to delay the session. Don't disturb me, please. I request. During the defect liability period, if the cover is opted by the contractor, then or any claim during this period, that is also paid. Now coverage, we cover location risk, fire, lightning, theft, etc. Since I have already talked, it is all risk cover subject to exclusions. So what are the coverage? All risk coverage. So fire, lightning, theft, burglary, handling risk, impact damage, collision, failure of cranes, collapse. All these things are covered. Damage due to collapse of crane, failure, turning. All these things are covered. Collapse of interest structure is also covered in this case, subject to certain condition. Then human element risk, carelessness, negligence. Willful negligence is not covered, but negligence is of course covered. Then malicious acts, rights strike, human error, unintentional human error. It is also covered. Same thing is carelessness, unintentional, not willful. Then it is covered. Then comes your act of God perils, earthquake, fire shock, storm, flood, STFI perils, rock slide, landslide in hilly terrain. This is very, very dangerous. Many losses have come because of landslide and subsidence, lightning and other atmospheric disturbances. Then wet works, water damage. that is also covered, provided it is accepted by the insurance company. Many times, insurance companies, while issuing the policy, they simply write wet works are excluded. If it is covered, then wet risk is also covered. And how do we define wet risk? It is the contract involving works in river, canal, lakes, or sea. So any works which involves working in rivers, canals, lakes, or sea, they fall under the category of wet works. Now this question comes, suppose there is no water inside the river, still it will be treated as wet works. Okay, because it is designated as river. Now 11 months it remains dry, but there is water at least in monsoon. One month or 2 months there is water, it will fall under wet work. Now there are two sections. How to mute everyone? From here, can I mute? Can anybody tell how to mute everybody? No idea. Okay. Now, section 1 is material damage. It covers physical damage to the property under construction by apparel not excluded in the policy. So, section 1 covers material damage. Section 2 is third party. I am running little fast because these are the basic things, and so that we get sufficient time to discuss subsequent part of my presentation. So, section 1 is material damage. Section 2 is third party. Third party is falling under two categories. It has two categories. Third party property damage, TPPD we call it. So property damage, it covers legal liability for the damage to the property of others. Third party means property of others, including property held in trust. So that kind of property, if it is damaged, it is covered under section 2. Or third party bodily injury. This legal liability for fatal or non-fatal accidents or injuries to any person other than insured's own employee, because their own employees would be covered under workman compensation policy. Other than that, they will be covered under section 2, third party liability under this TP bodily injury. Okay. And suppose a surveyor goes to inspect the loss during the construction of a project and he is hurt by crane, by falling off some material. In that case, it would be a third party bodily injury, and that person will be paid under this section. Now, third thing, which is very important, cross liability cover. When it is given when more than multiple contractors are working at the project site. So then the question comes, if the machinery of one contractor damages the property of other contractor, then it comes under the category of cross liability. So what it says, in such a situation, when the multiple contractor, say in a big project, sometimes 12, 15 or even 20 contractors might be working. In that case, instead of giving third party cover to each contractor, simply a cross liability cover is given under the policy, and it covers TPL of all subcontractors and other contractors which are working at site, which are named in the policy. Their name has to be mentioned in the policy. Unnamed contractors cannot be covered. Then it will be treated as if a separate policy has been issued to each one of them. So it solves the problem. It works as if a separate policy is given to each contractor. So it takes care of multiple interest of multiple contractors. Comes your sum insured. How to fix the sum insured of CAR policy? Now, the definition is what it says. The concept is it should represent, the sum insured should be equal to the total completed value of the project. This total completed value of the project is, this word is very important. Total complete, even if the project period is 7 years. So what you are supposed to insure the expected total completed value, anticipated value after completion of 7 years when the project will be commissioned. How much estimated cost is there in your books of accounts? That value is supposed to be declared in the policy, failing which it will attract under insurance. Because surveyor is going to calculate how much cost is coming after completion of project, at the time of completion of project. So it comprises of cost of all construction material, wages, freight, freight charges, then custom duties, and other items, and the material of items which are supplied by the principal. This is also important. Many times principal, they supply many items. They say these are the items provided by me. So contractor is supposed to include the sum insured of those items also in the policy, failing which these items will not be covered. Many times contractors make a mistake. They forget to include free supplied items into the cost of project. So it leads to underinsurance and no payment in that case. Surveyor do not allow payment of these items. Then your pre-operative expenses. Many expenses are incurred before start of the project, commencement of project. These are the expenses which are not supposed to be included. Otherwise, unnecessarily, you are paying extra premium. You are not required to include. What are these expenses? Technical consultants fee, project financing fees, expenses, soil testing, soil compacting, and labeling expenses, etc. These expenses are not supposed to be included in sum insured of the policy while declaring the sum insured.